It allows people to speculate on housing markets in a way that they've never been able to do so before. We've pioneered what we call the square foot token. What this is a synthetic instrument, like a options contract in the stock trading world, that is pegged to the dollar per square foot average of the SFR stock in a given geography. So, we could draw any shape on the map, whether it's a city, a neighborhood, or a zip code, and we could create a liquid market where people could speculate on the price movement of that market. So if you're bullish on Miami and bearish on Los Angeles, well, you could go long on Miami and you could short Los Angeles, and you'd be able to speculate on markets around the globe.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. Today, I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Justin Hughes, who is the general manager of Share Ventures, transforming residential real estate into a liquid on-chain asset class. So excited to have you on the show today, Justin.
Thank you. Likewise. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're creating this unique approach to investing.
Absolutely. Where would you like me to start?
Yeah, I guess first off, for those who are not familiar with you and your work, can you share what your main focus is?
Yeah. So my career has mostly been focused on developing financial infrastructure for the real estate industry. Traditionally, it's been in commercial multifamily. Lately, it's been in single-family residential. And today, in my role as general manager at Share Ventures, we're building out a new and exciting real estate platform called Shareland. And what Shareland is a exchange. It's a decentralized finance exchange. So it uses what we call Web3 rails, blockchain technology, and it allows people to speculate on housing markets in a way that they've never been able to do so before. We've pioneered what we call the square foot token. What this is a synthetic instrument, like a options contract in the stock trading world, that is pegged to the dollar per square foot average of the SFR stock in a given geography. So, we could draw any shape on the map, whether it's a city, a neighborhood, or a zip code, and we could create a liquid market where people could speculate on the price movement of that market. So if you're bullish on Miami and bearish on Los Angeles, well, you could go long on Miami and you could short Los Angeles, and you'd be able to speculate on markets around the globe.
Interesting. How did you come up with this concept?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, a bit of a long story, but I guess they all are. So first, we wanted to look at how people were getting exposure to real estate. And my first startup, we were doing it kind of in a modernized, traditional fashion where we were fractionalizing real estate. We worked with these sponsors. They would have an apartment building, and we would create a single-purpose vehicle to allow people to, be LPs, limited partners in these syndications. But there was a lot of barriers to scale there, and there was a lot of complexity. You'd have to really know what you're doing when you're examining not only the real estate asset itself, but you want to look at the financing. Sometimes the financing on a property is really going to make or break it. Then you got to dig into the operating agreement. Who knows what the sponsors got in there as far as waterfall structure. And so it was a very, very complicated product. And we wanted to figure out how to make real estate investing a lot more easy and a lot more streamlined so that the average person out there could do it. And furthermore, we wanted to give people the opportunity to hedge on real estate. In the stock world, I can borrow a share of Apple and from my broker and then sell it, and effectively going short, and then hope to pick it up for a discount and pocket the difference. But I can't really borrow my neighbor's house to short the local housing market and then buy it back later. It just obviously doesn't work that way. And so we worked with some PhD real estate econometrics professors that were publishing work at Wharton. And we asked them, like, how are you guys, how does anybody get correlated neighborhood level housing market exposure? And after analyzing REITs, mortgage-backed securities, I mean, you name it, the answer just wasn't all that thrilling, which is, well, you just got to buy an asset in that neighborhood. That's the way you do it. Whether it's fractional, there's other fractionalized real estate platforms out there where you can own a piece of a house. But as far as being able to short something, that was also just not heard of, not in a correlated submarket way. And so we explored opportunities there. Like, what could we do? How could we make that happen? And there was a lot of really exciting things happening in the crypto space. I think there's certainly a lot of hype in the crypto space, but I think that there's also some really interesting applications of the technology that can add real value, not just, basically another digital casino. And so we looked at what was possible there, and this opportunity to create a new derivative product, a synthetic, where you have a digital asset that's pegged to the value of a real world asset. So you get the flexibility and the liquidity and the ease of use of this like highly liquid instrument on an exchange that gets you exposure to the highly illiquid, hard to access asset that underlies it. And so, even if there's no, even if the housing stock, you're not finding any good deals. I mean, I've done traditional real estate investing myself, and like identifying a good deal is extremely hard. They always say you make money when you buy, and with this methodology, it doesn't matter. You're just looking at what transactions are happening. Any lack of inventory in the market is not going to affect our ability to create an investment platform where people can get exposure, long or short. And so yeah, that's the story. That's how we got there. Just identified a gap in the market, identified an opportunity, saw some really interesting and cool things being done on the technology side, and figured out a way to connect all those dots.
Awesome. And so how has this platform been working so far? Are like people like investing through it? Can you kind of explain how it works for the end user?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're in what's called the testnet phase, and testnet is, I guess, what you would call the Web3 version of beta. I'd invite any and all users to come check us out. You can go to testnet.share.land to see the platform that we're building. We basically just give your account $100,000 in fake money so that you can see how it works. You can, go long on some neighborhoods, short on other neighborhoods, and just to get a sense for how it's working. In the meantime, we're soliciting feedback from the community and continuing to iterate and improve upon the product. Our goal is to bring it mainnet live in the coming year, and more details, on our socials. We keep the community posted on our progress there. But yeah, so no, you can't trade real money yet. But you can see how it works, and we've got a lot of people really excited about it. Not only, and for me, I think it's not only the obvious, being able to go long on a neighborhood, but as somebody that, if somebody wants to buy a house and, you save some money, but then the value of the property goes up. And so your need for a down payment goes up. And there's kind of this treadmill effect. By parking your what would be your down payment into the tokens in the neighborhood you're looking to buy, your savings is growing in lockstep with the house you're trying to chase down. So it can actually slow down that treadmill effect when you're looking to buy a house. And on the flip side, as a real estate investor, sometimes you've got a concentration risk in a particular submarket and you're worried about what the future might hold. And maybe you want some kind of equity protection. And being able to basically short the market that you're, hedge the market by going short on a synthetic where you have the underlying asset. It can be a viable strategy for many people that might have exposure that they're looking to protect.
Yeah, absolutely. So do people need to have like a crypto knowledge background to use this?
Man, great question. So our goal is to make that answer a no. So we do use technology. There's a company called Privy. What they do is bridge the gap between what I would call the Web 2 experience and the Web 3 experience. We've all done the single sign-on with our Google account or Apple ID or Facebook, right? The social login kind of thing, or just logging in with email and password. In the crypto world, because they're trying to create this trustless infrastructure where you control everything. Nobody can move anything around without your authorization. That's where the crypto wallets come in. And so under the hood, you do have a crypto wallet. You are connecting. It is all crypto rails. But what we've done is we're using different techniques and technologies to abstract that out, to make the user experience something that people are used to. This is something really important to me. I as a product guy, you could build something really cool and really just innovative, but if nobody can use it or nobody cares, it's a giant waste of time. And so, not to throw my dad under the bus, he's actually quite tech savvy, but I always say, if my dad can't log in and use his credit card to hedge his primary residence, then I will have failed. I need it to be something that anybody can approach. And then, if Web3, you can maybe peek under the hood and look at it and go, oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. I totally understand what's going on. But, in the same way, it's like, I drive my car from A to B. I know vaguely how an internal combustion engine works, but could I build one? Probably not. So no, the short answer is no. You don't need to have Web3 knowledge to do it. If you had Web3 knowledge, you might see some of the things that we're doing and recognize them as common design patterns on other DeFi platforms. We're really not reinventing the wheel in some ways. In other ways, we are putting our own spin on the ball, obviously with a very single-family residential real estate specific focus, and trying to make it really, really easy not have it be something that's exclusive to, the crypto bros.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for explaining that. So, what are your goals for what you're solving or scaling to next through this platform?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, well, right now, our goal is just to get it in the hands of people and get feedback. We're also in the middle of working on a big design refresh on our front end, improving mobile usability and just a handful of other nice to have features just to make the experience more pleasant, more straightforward. I think one of the biggest challenges that I've faced is trying to take what can be a rather, complicated financial instrument and try and make it approachable and accessible to folks that aren't native to the space. And so that's one of our big goals, is just to continue on that mission of making it really easy and approachable, so that anybody could, easily use this. Second, we actually recently launched an AI agent called Tycoon. Tycoon is our AI agent that has access to all the data on the platform. He can surface insights and report on what's going on in the markets, not only in kind of the digital synthetic asset space, but also in the physical real estate space. And we're integrating him with what's called Agent Commerce Protocol. In the future, we've seen, RIAs, registered investment advisors, that are managing people's portfolios, have these robo-advisors where it's effectively algorithmically balancing your portfolio and managing it for a fee. The next wave is likely going to be agentic advisors, where you have an agent that is helping you deploy and manage capital. And we want to be able to support that. And so our agent utilizes Agent Commerce Protocol, so that if there is anybody out there that wants to transact through through that protocol or through just a natural language interface by just talking to Tycoon, Tycoon would be able to effectively say, okay, well, click here to finish this transaction that you asked, or, oh, it sounds like you really love the DC area. Would you like to get additional exposure, and can help users walk through that. Part of that Tycoon agent, we launched the Tycoon Agent Token, and this is how people can actually economically participate in the success of that agent. That agent actually makes money based on the services that it provides to people. It basically just it takes some of our transaction fees for the cost that we have for performing these transactions, and then some of that goes back into a buyback and burn program. So effectively, those tokens are being bought back and then burnt to drive to basically reward folks that were early adopters on the token, by providing us with that liquidity to help build out this vision. So continuing to develop Tycoon, continuing to get the message out there, develop the community, launch the platform, and ultimately the day when my dad can hedge the biggest chunk of his personal net worth as he's, as a retiree, then I will say, okay, great. I think we've done it.
Okay, interesting. That's so cool. So let's say someone doesn't really understand this technology and they're more of an old school investor. How would you kind of like convince them or prove to them that this is the way?
Yeah. Well, I'll go back to my car analogy. Like, we can all drive a car without really understanding how a carburetor, where a carburetor would attach to the engine, right? And if I continue with this metaphor, I will only illustrate how little I know about cars. But But there's a couple options. I mean, one, we do have an extensive knowledge base where we do go into the details of the math on how this works. But on the front end interface, very simply, you just have to have an opinion. Are you bullish on a particular submarket or are you bearish? And if you're one or the other, you can act upon that sentiment. And then if you want proof as to how it works, you can actually look at the price chart for the token overlaid with the price chart for the submarket in the physical asset. So what we do is we ingest a lot of data for the submarkets that we support, and in doing so, we publish our index value, so to speak, for whether it's LA, New York, Miami, Denver, whatever. And what that allows us to do is just have this, okay, here's the dollar per square foot of this given market, similar to like a Zestimate. And the price chart for the real world asset price and the price chart for the token price, they're not necessarily identical. There's going to be some deviation. For example, if everybody is bullish on a neighborhood, it's going to trade at a premium, similar to how call and option contracts will trade at a, they'll go up and down depending on how the underlying asset price is performing. So that's similar to how this works. We've resolved the math in such a way that it's a one-to-one motion. Now, where market sentiment will deviate from the underlying asset price. So you might see a price graph where it goes up and down and up and down. The market price of the token will have the exact same shape. It might just be like shifted on the y-axis 1 or 2% up or 1 or 2% down because of a natural imbalance between longs and shorts. Because again, like any market, supply and demand is going to have an influence on that asset price. But there's other mechanisms at play, not just supply and demand, not just users buying and selling. We also have, each token has collateral put up, and it's in a ratio to the underlying asset. So let me put that a different way. Like if I want, we peg the token price to the underlying asset price, and so there's these mechanisms where when the underlying asset price goes up or down, there's a mechanism where either more tokens are being added to the supply or removed from the supply algorithmically, so that the token price follows the asset price around. And so I invite everybody to go onto the testnet. You can see this in action. You can pull up these charts. You can see how we call it the Oracle price. That's a Web3 term. Basically, it's a methodology for publishing data on chain in a way that is accessible to smart contracts. Sorry, probably way too technical. Didn't need to get that technical, but at any rate, you'll hear me use the term Oracle, and all I really mean is the real world index value. So you got the Oracle line, you got the market, the token line. Pull it up for every market that we support. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see that they're the same shape, but maybe not like exactly the same. But at the end of the day, if I was to buy $1 million worth of token in a particular submarket, and I was to buy $1 million worth of house in that exact same market, and I held both of those assets for the exact same amount of time, statistically speaking, I'm going to wind up with the same ROI. Plus or minus basis points. In fact, I might do better on the tokens because I don't have, escrow, title, broker commissions, and things like that on the transaction. So I don't know. I mean, for folks that aren't crypto natives, I'd say don't let that stop you. Go ahead, click around, poke around. Also, I would love your opinion. Sometimes as a tech guy, I lose sight of what is understandable. As you can hear me talk, I'll get lost in the deep end. But so honestly, those opinions are what are most valuable to me. But yeah, it's like it's driving a car. Hop in, drive it. I'll explain to you how an internal combustion engine works if you like. If not, you can just look at the speedometer and see that you are in fact traveling 40 miles an hour. So
amazing. Thank you so much for expanding and sharing all of your insights.
Oh, my pleasure.
So before we wrap up here, if somebody wants to reach out, connect, learn more, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find us on X. Our head of marketing, Nate, runs our socials. We're at share.land. That's all actually one word, not an actual dot. So ShareDotland is our X handle. My email address is justin@share.land. Feel free to bother me, anybody, anytime. I would invite everybody to come check out what we've got going on. Real estate investors, just investors like your listener base are actually exactly the kinds of people. I talk to a lot of crypto folks. And so I have a lot of access there, but traditional folks, I really want to hear their opinions and get their insights. I think that would be incredibly valuable to me. So please don't be a stranger. And then check it out. And then stay tuned for more to come. We've got a lot of exciting things coming down the pipe. And, I'm personally really excited. We have a lot of fun here.
Awesome. Thank you for your time and your perspective. Appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you so much. Likewise.
Of course. For the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Justin who are building real businesses, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.